Hello everybody, Mike Welsch coming to you from Churchill Downs with the Daily Racing Form Kentucky Derby Workout Report, brought to you by Spendthrift Farm, the home of Into Mischief, who will look to sire his third Derby winner this year with three possible contenders: Rocket Can, Sun Thunder, and Cyclone Mischief. If he does draw into the race, he still will need a little bit of help to be a starter in this year's Derby. So as noted yesterday, with Todd Pletcher and Brad Cox working their plethora of Derby contenders on Thursday and Friday, doesn't leave a lot of horses left here that are on the grounds right now training up to the Derby. We still have a half a dozen or more slated to ship in later this week or next weekend. And of that group, during the special Derby training session today, only a couple of them are out there. I did get to see Rocket Can again. He is scheduled to work tomorrow for trainer Bill Mott. Cyclone Mischief was out today. He was scheduled to work today. He will certainly work tomorrow. And the Disarm, as we noted yesterday, he was a handful, pretty rank, wanted to do a lot more than they allowed him. Today, though, he looked smooth as silk out there. Got around there nicely, had plenty of energy. So Disarm seems to be doing very well coming out of his effort in the Lexington. What the schedule is for his final Derby work, not sure, since he did run last Saturday. Maybe only one more Derby work on the schedule. The two Japanese horses did come out. I saw them come out during the training session. Next thing I knew, I did not see them anymore. They must have been up in that chute we talked about yesterday with the new grandstand built on the clubhouse turn. Hard to see what the activity back there. But they definitely did not gallop today on the main track. A couple of horses who did gallop on the main track, surprisingly so, early this morning. Forte and Tapit Trice coming right back out of their big workouts yesterday. We're both out in the first set for trainer Todd Pletcher this morning. Forte, I got to see him gallop a 1 3/8. Did so with plenty of energy. Looked excellent, especially for a horse that just worked 5/8 and galloped out 7 furlongs as nicely as he did yesterday. Tapit Trice also out there this morning for a routine gallop, but maybe not so routine, because Todd Pletcher typically jogs in the morning after work, but I take this as an excellent sign that these two horses were out there galloping like they did this morning. The one significant work today on the Derby workout front took place at Gulfstream Park, and that was Mage, who the connectors made the decision to stay home for one more work. Turned out to be a good decision. He probably wouldn't have got that work in had he been here today. And Mage looked very good again. I got to see him there last week. This looked like a carbon copy of his work last week. The connections, not looking for speed, just looking for stamina. They know this horse is fast. They're just trying to get him cranked up to run that 1.25 miles. And I got to see the tape of the race, of the work, this morning. He went 6 furlongs in 1:14.1 and then galloped out extremely well around the turn. I had him going a mile in just under 1:41 and a 1 1/8 in 1:54.2. He was kept way off the rail down the stretch and into it around the turn. The Delgados, they do that with a lot of their workers. After talking to Gustavo Delgado Jr. this morning, the main reason is that besides the fact that if you put them on the rail, they're going to go faster than you might want. He said that races, most of the time, you'd love to be on the rail, but you're not. You're out in that part of the track, so that's why we like to work them out there. He is scheduled, Mage is scheduled to ship here tomorrow, leave Florida tomorrow, get here Monday. He will have his final Derby work here next weekend. He will also have some gate schooling during the week. The one decision left to be made, who will be the rider. They've got it narrowed down to 2 riders. That decision is going to come later today, and we will have an update on that for you on DRF.com. And as we always say, the best coverage of Kentucky Derby 2023, whether video-wise or print-wise, is at DRF.com.